Here we go. So, integrated learning and assessment, the benefits of a blended approach. So, what's on the agenda for this morning? We're going to begin by just taking a little look and think about teaching, learning and assessment. And then to think about some of our perceptions and misconceptions about the role of assessment. And then we're going to go in a little bit more deeply to consider two key approaches to assessment, one of which is formative and the other is summative assessment. And we'll explore how the bringing together of formative and summative assessment leads us towards integrated learning and assessment, brings together the best of the assessment worlds. So let's take a look. Now, I think that we would all agree that our mission as teachers is to, excuse me, my slides went somewhere else, is to support and promote the life chances of our learners. We want to open doors into their careers and their further education. We want to inspire and motivate them so that they really want to learn, have an urgency to learn, so that they are equipped with really key skills ready to go out into the real world. So, what are the concepts that underpin our mission? 3 concepts. None of them are things that will surprise you. The first is that we teach. We teach our learners. Our learners learn. And then we have assessment. So 3 key cornerstones that we work with. Let's take a closer look at assessment. Here we have two images of assessment, and I want you to think about whether these 2 images are the same or different and why. Can you use your chat boxes and tell me what you think is the difference between these 2 types of assessment? On the one side, what do we see? On the left-hand side with the girl on her own. And on the right-hand side, we see a pair. Types of assessment, but they are different. So what are your thoughts? Type your ideas into the chat box. Let's take a look. So any ideas are good ideas. I'm scrolling down and scrolling down. I think, interesting. I like that idea, actually. Peer review. That's an interesting one because what you're looking at there is that they're working together to peer assess. We've got individual assessment. Yes, excellent. And we have team assessment. Any other ideas? The girls doing an individual assessment. Okay, and the boys a group assessment. That's a nice word there. Collaborational approach and peer correction. Really, really key. Okay, that nice word this. To a students is a co-assessment. Lovely, a collaborative task. I see you mentioned that the one on the left is the girl under pressure. That's an interesting idea. Okay, so some fabulous ideas there, and it's lovely to see that we're all on the same page. So teaching and learning, let me just move this down. Teaching, learning and assessment. I think that we find ourselves with something of a paradox of perception, because what we see is that teaching and learning seem to operate happily together. We're familiar. Teachers go to the classroom and they work with their learners in the classroom. So teachers teach, learners learn, and then assessment tests. So what do we feel about this? What do we think? So what we could see is the sense that assessment can be perceived by teachers and learners to be something of the more difficult friend in the teaching and learning relationship, the outsider. The third wheel is an expression we use often in English as well. So a little bit awkward. We might think of assessment as being separate to teaching and learning. We might see it as something that is done to the learners by an external body. We might see it as the responsibility of the teacher or the exam body. And yet it's interesting when we look back at that previous slide with the couple, the two students collaborating, that is it always like that? So I wonder if these are ideas that sound familiar to you. I can see you're posting some really lovely comments here. Keep them coming. It's nice to see what your thoughts are. So before we go any further, what I'd really like to see is to check our understanding, our shared understanding, you and me. How would you describe two key forms of assessment? So imagine you're writing a tweet, or maybe it's X nowadays. How would you describe formative assessment? What would your description be? Type into the chat box now. Your descriptions and all your ideas are fabulous. So any ideas are great ideas. So type away. What would you post to say is formative assessment? Imagine you're explaining to somebody who is not a teacher what it is. Let me see. Oh, some great ideas before, but I'm seeing it's being a little bit, okay. Peer assessment, teachers teach. Grading any students assessing other students. Okay, I'm getting more messages now coming in. To learn from our mistakes without being marked. Yes, that's interesting. That gives me a feeling that it's not just about the test. Assessment as a part of their learning process. Interesting. We're bringing in learning to the assessment. Collaboration. Excellent idea. Okay, we're going to go over to the other side now. We're going to look at summative assessment. So again, please, can you send me your keywords? How would you describe summative assessment? What would you say? Type your ideas into the chat box. We can see that formative assessment is interactive. It's not grading. I can see straight away, testing. That's the big word. The end of the learning process. Excellent. Great ideas here. Monitoring students, learning to provide feedback. I think that's the other one. Reducing students' performance numbers. I'm not sure I'm quite with you on that one. So some great ideas coming in there. The end of the process, really interesting there. Feedback methods, quick quizzes. Okay, let's move on and take a look and bring together some key ideas about what we understand formative and summative assessment to be. So I like to think of formative assessment as this, that as teachers, we play the detective in class. We're observing, we're looking, we're capturing evidence to check what our learners know and what our learners can do. And what we're checking for is going to be linked to the syllabus. We set out a roadmap of the learning journey our learners are on, and we lead them down it so that they are ready to learn, and so that they're ready for their exams at the other end. Always linked to the learning objectives. We check progress against learning objectives. And importantly, we give learners feedback. And I've noticed many of you have mentioned feedback, which is fabulous. But importantly, we provide feedback to our learners that we too adjust our teaching in response to the evidence. So we're always having to be flexible and adapt in response to our learners. Let me move on to the next one. So let's take a look at some example strategies. And I'm sure you may have your own strategies that you use, but here are a few I prepared earlier. So formative assessment, signposting those learning objectives, setting out on the board at the start of the lesson what your learners will be able to do better by the end of the lesson that they can't do at the beginning, setting out the roadmap and referring to those objectives as you go through the lesson to say, hey, look at you. This is what we've been working on and this is what you can do. And to reference those learning objectives at the end of the lesson and to encourage your learners to reflect on what they've been working on. Importantly, another approach is to monitor in class. By monitoring and observing our learners, we can assess their performance. By collecting evidence, it may be that we take a little note. It may be that we just listen carefully. It may be that we ask a question to check their understanding. And we give our learners feedback. But also another way to do this is that you can take a lesson objectives poll. And you can do this with a traffic light system. You can give your learners a red card, a yellow card and a green card, like traffic lights. And they ask them to hold up the card. How do we understand? They hold up the green card to say, yep, I'm good to go. I understand. Yellow to say they need more practice. You're collecting evidence. And red to say, I need more help. There are different approaches to doing this, but this is just one idea. You can do it digitally as well, using Summative, and the links are supplied at the end. Another really nice way to collect evidence is exit tickets at the end of the class. So you write a question for your learners on the board. For example, tell a friend what you learned today in class. Your learners write their answers on a slip of paper. And then at the end of the class, when they leave the classroom, you collect the slip of paper. This is your evidence, and it will recapture what your learners have noticed that they learned in class. Really, really, very, very useful. You could also ask them something like, I need more help with, and then you're getting a clear message privately on their little exit ticket, so no one else can hear what sort of help they feel they need more of. So it's a really nice way to do that without students feeling shy. You can do this also digitally with Summative. The links are all going to be supplied. So here we go. We now have summative assessment. And as many of you said, this happens at the end of a period of study. And again, this is to check what our learners know and what they can do. Again, it must be linked to the syllabus and the learning objectives. We don't test or examine our learners on anything that we haven't prepared them for or taught them. It's evidence-based. We teach them, we assess them, and then we test them, but we're collecting the evidence from those tests. So a small-scale classroom test, a weekly progress test, you can see the evidence of what they know, what they can do, and where they might need extra help, which will help you to plan what you can do to help them make continued progress. And of course, large-scale Cambridge exams. It always comes back to the learning, always comes back to the learning. So let's have another look at this. We saw formative and summative assessment as being a little bit different when we started our session with your comments that you posted. Now, I'd like to take a closer look now. Are they the same or are they different? Well, formative assessment is evidence-based, and so is summative. Formative assessment is linked to the syllabus and it's linked to learning objectives, and so is summative. Formative assessment is where we're able to collect evidence and evaluate our learners' performance. Summative assessment is the same. We are assessing our learners' performance. Formative assessment will inform our next steps, as does summative assessment. In the formative case, that's for the class or for the individual. So for the class, you can take a look to think, we need to do more work here. For the individual learner, you can think about how you might better be able to support that learner based on the evidence that you've observed and collected. But the same as summative. Progress test will inform your next steps, perhaps for your timetable for the following week, things you need to revisit. And for the Cambridge exams, if a learner successfully passes one Cambridge exam, they know they're ready to go on to the next exam. So summative assessment also informs next steps. So they're much more closely related than perhaps we think. Remember, it always comes back to the learning. But we have a little challenge. It's not all perfect. Here are some points that I'd like to show you. So, formative assessment sounds absolutely great. We love it. However, think, it is reliant on the intuition of a good teacher and the experience and the ability of the teacher and the confidence. So it's practice. You must practice delivering formative assessment so that you know how to interpret the evidence and how to respond to that evidence so you can meet your learners' needs. We could think that it lacks the academic rigor of a test or a Cambridge exam, which is so well crafted to assess learners' knowledge. We could think, is it assessment? Isn't it just teaching? So you raise these questions. Is this really assessment? So what about summative assessment then? That sounds great. We're all familiar with it. But there's a challenge. I'm sure we've all know this experience. It can be tempting to teach to the test. We're all under pressure for our learners to do well in their test. So it can be tempting to teach to that test. But interestingly, it will only tell us what our learners know relative to what they're being tested on. It doesn't tell us what else the learner knows and what else the learner can do. It doesn't capture our learners' voices, how they feel about their learning, where they might feel they need a little bit more support from you. So the question is, do we go formative or do we go summative? Which is the best? What's best for my learners? Well, I'm happy to report that both are highly effective when they're used together, because the priority is to improve learning outcomes. That's our goal, to help learning. So I've got a little idea from the literature, and I really like this idea because I think it brings it all together. David Carless says that formative and summative assessment aren't quite the right terms. They're not very accurate. They're imprecise. They don't capture what they really deliver. He says that for all assessments, whether summative or formative in function, the main aim is to promote productive student learning, and that grading and certifying are important. Parallel function, they sit alongside each other, but they shouldn't outweigh the core learning purpose. So we can see here that that formative assessment sits alongside summative assessment, and we're bringing them together, integrating, because they're both valuable, both approaches to assessment with our learners. And that brings us to integrated learning and assessment. Let's have a look at a definition. The definition is, it's the combined use of teaching, learning and assessment methods so that we can plan, we can measure, and we can improve learning outcomes. And that's really, really key. Notice combined use of assessment methods. So it could be formative, it could be summative. Both are valuable. Let's take a closer look. The ILA approach, as I've said, is a combination of those teaching, learning and assessment methods. And the value is that it helps teachers and the learners so that they can plan, evaluate progress and plan future learning, because that means that you're collecting evidence, working with that evidence to plan your next steps, to personalize your learner's learning journey, improving learning outcomes. So, key considerations. What are they in an ILA approach? Here we go. Number one, SMART learning objectives. Your learners need a roadmap. They need to know where they're going in the lesson, through the week, what they're working towards by the end of their course. So the learning objectives in class need to be really specific. They need to be measurable so that you can assess whether learners have learned and whether they understand where they're going. They need to be achievable. Don't set learning objectives that they can't possibly achieve in that lesson. Make it achievable. Learners need to go away from class feeling that they're winning, and they have to be relevant and time-bound. So, the beginning of a lesson, talk through those objectives and say, by the end of the lesson, we will have worked on, and you will be able to understand and use the present perfect, for example. Now, this means that ILA requires significant lesson planning or thinking about. So plan ahead. It really helps to plan how you're going to evaluate what your assessment strategies are. How will you know what your learners understand, know, and can do through the lesson? How are you going to collect your evidence so that you can then respond to their specific needs? How are you going to adapt? And then, of course, you need to be able to collect your evidence, identify learners' needs, and give them feedback, adjusting the lesson to meet their needs. You may need to stretch some learners, but you may need to offer remedial support to those learners who need a little bit of extra help. So you may need to plan differentiation activities to differentiate for the stronger and the weaker learners. Plan follow-up activities based on what you anticipate your learners' needs to be in the planning stage, and work with the evidence as you plan your next lesson. You've captured that data, you're going away thinking about what you're going to teach tomorrow. What have you found today that you can bring into your lesson tomorrow? So let's take a look at some really nice classroom strategies for ILA. First of all, it really helps to have a coherent syllabus. And an example is from Empower. There are other courses available like Power Up and Evolve, also who have an ILA approach within their structural design. But a coherent syllabus will provide you with a clear learning journey, so you know what the roadmap is, where you're taking your learners. Each unit and each lesson will have learning objectives specified. And I've said an example would be Empower. Now, this is old technology, but I would always say use your board. Signpost your learning objectives on the whiteboard, on the blackboard, on your screens, but signpost them. Let your learners know what they're doing and what they're going to be able to do by the end of the lesson. And review them through the lesson. Don't forget that they're there. And encourage learners to stop, think, and reflect on how they think they're performing. Really important to have the confidence to give your learners time to think. I think sometimes it's difficult to do that, but it's really helpful. And then we have formative and summative assessment strategies. Really helpful when you're planning to think about what your formative strategies are going to be and link your formative assessment strategies back to those objectives so that you can check in with your learners and assess them through the lesson. Evaluate and provide feedback. Adjust your teaching in class. And again, make time and space for quiet reflection. It's okay. It feels a bit scary to start with, but build it in. Learner reflection is really key. Summative assessment, regular progress tests, and many course books offer those progress tests, such as Empower and the other books I mentioned. Link them to your learning objectives. So any progress test must be linked to what you've been teaching in the lesson or during that week. Otherwise, it's not achievable for the learner. And evaluate their progress. You're capturing evidence with those tests. You can assess what they know, what they can do, and give them feedback. And again, encourage reflections. Let learners stop and think about their own performance in their tests and highlight and celebrate what they can do and work on and build up what they need to develop. Any further developments, you can encourage them to work on. So again, it always comes back to the learning, always comes back to the learning. Now, I did a webinar last year actually with some teaching ideas about how to integrate ILA into your classrooms. And in this webinar, and the links will be supplied, so don't worry about that, shows you the tips and tricks and the value of collecting smart evidence from your SMART objectives so that you can assess and that will inform your feedback. How to elicit what learners know from the class. How to use concept check questions. It's a challenging approach, but this webinar will show you how to assess learners' understanding. And for a speedy, quick whole class assessment, you can use the traffic light system that I explained earlier, with the red and the yellow and the green to say, yes, I'm good to go. No, I need help. Or you can just do thumbs up. Maybe a bit more help. And no, I don't understand. You can use that as a round the class assessment. And also learner reflection. We've talked a little bit here today about how important reflection is. But in this webinar, we talk about how to approach self-assessment in the classroom. So for more ideas, follow the link to the webinar and it will be supplied. So we've reached the end of our session and I'd like to sort of revisit what we've actually looked at today. We started by looking at those core concepts that we work towards, those cornerstones for us as teachers: teaching, learning, and our difficult friend, not so difficult now, assessment. We looked at perceptions and misconceptions about the role of assessment. We talked about formative assessment, which was something that everybody was able to relate to. We talked about collaboration. And we talked about summative assessment, which initially we saw as being somewhat separate to the assessment process, that it was something that was done to our learners. But in fact, we can bring it all together. We can integrate learning and assessment, bring together formative and summative, offering the best of both worlds. Because, as I always say, it comes back to improving learning outcomes. So that is my session. I've got a few time for some questions here. So let me see. Here are some links, really lovely links and references for you. And I believe that we're going to be able to share all of these links with you separately. So don't worry if you can't catch them all now. It's all going to be available to you. So now, any questions that you might have, type them into. I hope that was interesting. Yes, lovely. Some nice links. I can see that we've put in the link to those links. That's really helpful. And I'm ready to take your questions. So I can see a lovely question here that someone's asked. John has asked, is it a good idea to introduce formative assessment from day one by teachers who don't have a lot of experience? Now, that's a really interesting one, because I think for many of us as teachers, it's something that we are observing for all the time. How often in a classroom are you looking around the class and you spot that Juan, who's in the corner, is looking somewhat confused, and you think, Juan has a few problems here. We need to talk to Juan and find out why. So even the least experienced teacher will be likely to notice learners who might be struggling. We might also notice learners who are who are too strong, we need to stretch further. So we're always observing. We are playing the detective from day one, even when we don't have much experience. However, I have an idea, and I think this is a really helpful one if you can achieve this in your schools. I've always found it really helpful to co-teach with another teacher who has more experience. So team teach and bring together a teacher who has less experience with more experience. And your goal as the least experienced teacher is to observe and discuss formative assessment approaches and share those, discuss them before the class, talk about them after the class. So it becomes a form of professional development, teachers learning from teachers. It's a fabulous approach. Somebody else has asked about how is it ILA, or learning oriented assessment as it used to be called, how is it different from diagnostic assessment? That's a really good question, because there are so many different ways of describing assessment, and I think they can be a bit confusing. Well, diagnostic assessment is an approach where you are diagnosing, like a doctor, what a learner knows and what a learner can do. So you capture the problem, but it doesn't take you to the next step, because as teachers, it comes back to the learning. We want to take our learners onto the next step. So a learning-oriented approach is to do the diagnosis and then to build in support for learners to extend the learning by finding suitable tasks that stretch them, suitable tasks to practice, and suitable tasks that will be personalized to their needs. So somebody else in the questions here has said, how do we measure the effectiveness of our assessment tools and strategies? Do you know, I have to be honest, I think this is one of the things that I really love about being a teacher. I'm retired now, but when I was teaching, when you notice, when you're observing, you plan your assessment strategies before your lesson. You think, how am I going to find out? This is the task. What am I going to do to work out if my learners understand? What am I going to do? What concept check questions can I ask to check understanding? And I think we all know that feeling of, they've got it. My learners understand. We all understand. We're on the same page. And that is the effectiveness, the measurement tool that I think for teachers, front of class, is the look on our learners' faces. However, when we can see that our strategies have not been so effective, we also recognize that look on our learners' faces. So after class, as teachers, I would recommend going away and thinking about the class and thinking, what worked? What did I learn about my learners? What strategy was good for me and good for them? What do I need to work on? So that's about self-assessment of yourself as a teacher, reflecting on your teaching after class. So I think that's a lovely, lovely question. So thank you for that. It's a good one. Let's have a look. Is a teacher expected to assess learners during every classroom task? So I think the point in this question is that we are going, the goal is to think about, what do we want our class to be able to do better at the end of the class that they couldn't do at the beginning? We need to think about the assessment potential of the activities we give our learners. We all know of some great fun activities, and sometimes we do the activities, learners have a great time doing the activity, it's really good fun. and you go away and you think, what did they learn from that? So I think when we're planning, it's really important to think about what the learning is that your learners will take away from that task, from that activity. And that means you can put in place your own classroom assessment strategies before the lesson. I also think it works well to encourage your learners to work together. We saw that picture at the beginning of today's session, didn't we, of learners collaborating. I think it works beautifully to pair learners and ask them to stop, think, and reflect. So you are not doing the assessment yourself, but the learners are self-assessing their performance, their progress. And then they can give you feedback afterwards. Or you can do the exit tickets and capture their reflections on the lesson. So let me see. Is it more important to focus on an individual learner or the whole class profile? I always see when teaching that you teach a class of maybe 20, 30, maybe 15, maybe a smaller class learners. You're presenting and teaching to the whole class, but you're aiming your teaching at the individual learner. So rather than teach to the one, you direct it to the whole class. So when you plan your lesson, think about how you can capture evidence of what learners know and what they can do. It comes back to your planning. We always think about what activities am I going to do? What am I going to do first and second? What's my warmer? What's my teaching points? Think about how you're going to capture what learners are learning and taking away from the lesson. So yes, I think it's important to focus on the whole class, but then to observe from the class what they are taking away. So that's enough. Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Thank you. So I'm reading your questions. It's like you're here with me. Now there's a question here about differentiation with different levels in the same class, so everyone feels a sense of success. Now, differentiation is such a big subject, and it's a lovely subject if you get it right. But thank you, Ana Lourdes, because it's such a key point to involve. We need to plan for differentiation. We know that in many classes, we're not fortunate enough to have classes where you've got everybody's the same level. There's always going to be stronger and weaker students. So I think, again, and I keep coming back to it, about the planning. It always comes back to the planning. When you're planning your activities, put in place differentiated tasks. And what you're doing is you're establishing from those differentiated tasks. So maybe if you've got a weaker learner, you may adjust that task so that that task can be more accessible for that learner. And then creating opportunities to stretch your stronger learners. And they know they're being stretched. And the weaker learners know that they're able to participate because you personalize that activity for them. So it's about knowing your class. And it is also about thinking about what their needs in advance and how you can adapt that activity to suit their needs. And differentiation is a fabulous subject. So I can recommend that you, maybe if you go to the British Council, you might find some really lovely activities on differentiation on that website, because there are lovely ways in which you can differentiate, give everyone the same task, but make it simpler for some and more challenging for others, and then assess. Everyone should leave the class feeling fabulous, that they've learned something. Let me see what else we've got. So, here's one here. What do I do if I'm following a set curriculum and I can't change the learning objectives? Now, that really is an important question, because we all have a curriculum that may be set by our schools. And we're taking our learners on a learning journey so that they need to be able to achieve certain learning milestones. And those milestones will be within your set curriculum. You will need to plan around those goals, those objectives, what your learners will be able to do by the end of the learning program that they couldn't do at the beginning. So the syllabus within the curriculum will have a key set of milestones. Those milestones will be your objectives, and you break it down, the curriculum down, into bite-sized pieces, taking your learners on that journey so that you're not trying to do everything all at once. You're doing it in bite-sized pieces that's easy for you to teach to, and easy for your learners to follow, and easier for you to evaluate progress so that by the end of the learning program, they feel fabulous because they've learned something. They can take something away that will give them the ability to use the language in the real world. So anybody else? Is there any more questions? I don't know what the time is actually. Okay. Any more questions there? Open questions. Let me look on the Q&A. If there's any more coming in. I don't know if I've missed any. I'm looking in the Q&A box. I'm very happy to take another question if anyone's got one. Ah, this is a lovely one. So, is the monitoring only practical with a very small class? Now, that is a super question because monitoring is something that I think when we're learner teachers, we're all encouraged to do. Now, I think we all agree. I don't know a teacher who wouldn't agree. Time is really challenging for us all. We have a lot to do, a lot to deliver in the lesson through the course. So the larger the class, the more challenging it is to monitor and work the room and observe. However, in integrated learning and assessment, the goal is to have the screen's all changed. I'm sorry, I've lost my thought here now. We need to bring our learners in and encourage them to take responsibility for their learners, for their learning. So it's really helpful if you can't monitor to invite your learners to reflect on their activities, to reflect on those learning objectives, discuss it together, and to peer and self-assess, and then give you that feedback. But encourage it in a sense of collaboration and communication with one another. So I think it's a really good, really helpful to collect evidence and talk to learners, invite learners to give you their feedback on their performance. There we are. So I think that might have helped. I can see, I think presenters, could we request that you stop sharing the screen? Okay, somebody else has put something really nice here. What I do is to put a list of actions. I think my screen's gone down. To put a list of actions we're expected to do during the lesson. That's lovely. I really like that, Michelle. Thank you. So for example, if the objective is to describe people's appearance, I do a word list like this. Associate a picture with words, identify key phrases. That's a really nice technique because you're encouraging learners to participate by asking them to associate. So you're telling your learners what's coming up, what you want them to do. So that's really helpful. And yes, somebody else has said, feedback comes to be a key element in formative assessment. Yes, it does. It really does. And we need to prioritize what we focus on. Agree. But the most important thing is delivery. Okay, I think that's lovely. I think what's important, how do we give good feedback? The goal of feedback is that it should be meaningful, but it should leave learners feeling as if they have succeeded. It has to be positive. It has to be constructive so that they know what they need to do the next time they practice that particular part of language, the next time they try the present perfect. So give them very specific feedback that they understand, but that it needs to be delivered in a really kind and thoughtful and well-intentioned way with suggestions about what to do next. It also helps to ask your learners to tell you, how do you think you did? What do you think was your most successful? What do you think you did well? What do you think you would like to work on? What do you feel you need to do next time? If we could do it again, what would you do next time? So I think it's about making it constructive and making it collaborative. That's a nice one. And I do think that this is true. Somebody's put in here, what if students are reluctant to get actively involved in group or self-assessment, or if they're not realistic? Well, I think this is the sort of thing where, as a teacher, you will know your classes. You know what works best for your class. And often it's about group dynamic. And you know where the friendship groups sit. And you know where people feel safe. And exit tickets, we talked about exit tickets. You can often find that if you're asking learners to record their reflections and hand them back in, that might be a nice way to do it. There are some nice activities that you could get quite creative with this one, so that you're not shining a light on the class, on the learners in class, so they feel terribly shy, they don't know what to say, they feel afraid. You can create activities, I think, like the exit tickets, where they're able to then write down their thoughts, and you can pull them out, anonymous, pull them out and say, this is a nice thing that someone's written here. So I think you can think about group dynamic, think about some nice, safe activities which are anonymized for learners. How do we ensure that assessments are fair and unbiased, considering that everyone has different learning styles and learning needs? Now, I think this is why, as teachers, I mentioned it so many times in my session, I think as teachers, it's really helpful to plan the approach we're going to adopt in class when we're going to assess our learners. We really need to think about that, because if we don't plan our approach, we're not thinking about our individual learners. I know that when I'm planning, I often have a particular learner just sitting on my shoulder, and I'm thinking, I wonder how she's going to cope with this. What can I do to help her based on her particular needs? How am I going to deliver this? Is this the right task for this class? Because not all of them can participate. So I think our assessments in class take planning. So don't just jump in. Before class, think about your learners and how you're going to identify their needs, meet their needs, give them feedback, and take the next steps. So somebody said, that's what I try to do. Good, I hope so. There we are. So I think we're almost out of time. So I'd really like to say thank you to everybody for joining us today. It's been lovely. If you've got any last minute questions, burning questions that I haven't asked. Oh, we have a last minute question come in. Okay, can I ask one more question? One more question. Are small-scale classroom tests in the form of weekly or end-of-unit progress tests recommended to be done in class or outside class? I think, as a rule of thumb, I tend to do them in class. However, it would be interesting to think whether there is a merit in doing them outside of class. Okay, we could talk about cheating. Yes, they might cheat. In fact, most students probably would think, I'm going to check the answer. But they have to have read the question. They have to have understood the question. And when you do feedback, you can elicit from learners, why is it this answer and not that answer? So you can evaluate how they've approached the test if you choose to do it outside class. But I happen to think it's probably better to do it in class and quite informally as well. So that would be my recommendation. But try it, see what works for you. And if it doesn't work, try it in a different way. Find another way to do something. And if something works, share it. Share it with your colleagues. This worked for me. It was brilliant. Why don't you try it? So there we are. So thank you very much indeed, everybody. It's been absolutely delightful to talk to you. So thank you for coming on. Now, we have another speaker coming up. We have the lovely Roisin Vaughan, who's coming in to talk to you. So I will love and leave you and say thank you very much for being such great participants and joining in. Thank you. Oh, hello, Roisin. There you are.
Hi, Miranda. Thank you very much.
Okay, so over to you. We've got a lovely group here, lots of questions, and they're very, very open to answering. So bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.